Morning, Janelle. Yeah, we have a messy mix of winter precipitation heading our way, mostly overnight. But when you wake up tomorrow morning, depending on your location, there will be icy, slushy roads. It will likely be raining heavily in the city by this time tomorrow. Maybe that transition to just plain rain, but temperatures will be hovering near the freezing mark. And yesterday and today setting the stage for it because it is much colder out there now than it was. Let's take a look at our current conditions. And again, temperatures right now just much colder, about 10-15 degrees colder than they were yesterday. We're hanging around the freezing mark and our temperatures aren't coming up for me here. Let's try one more time. There we go. We're looking at 32 in Millville right now, 32 in Wilmington, got 33 in Philadelphia. These numbers will likely drop a bit, but I don't think we get above the mid 30s for most spots out there today. And then by the time the precipitation gets in, which is later on this evening and tonight after the evening commute, that's when everything is going to start to get really messy. So starting about 9 o'clock tonight. Here's a look at the timing again. Our next weather alert is for tomorrow morning, really the overnight hours, let's say midnight to noon. Snow begins late tonight, starts to accumulate around midnight. We will likely see less than an inch of snow in most spots, but it transitions to sleet and then freezing rain, which is that dangerous icy, slushy roads with heavy downpours for the morning drive tomorrow, and those school delays are likely. So make some plans now. We're keeping you ahead of the storm, prepared and protected here in the next weather sphere. Coming up, we'll talk about a system for Saturday that could impact your weekend as well. Kim, I'll send it over to you. If you can, in front of the fireplace, maybe not drinking a beer at 5 in the morning like our friend Howard, but whatever gets you through tomorrow morning, just don't do that and go out on the roads. I would recommend, if you can avoid it, don't go out on the roads at all tomorrow morning. It is going to be a mess. It's not going to last all day, but today sets the stage for a next weather alert that will go into effect tonight and continue through tomorrow morning's commute. Let's take a look at today's forecast temperature trend. And here's the problem. You can see how much colder it is. We had a few days above average. Today is not above average. It is below average. We're not going to get out of the 30s. And by the time precipitation starts to get in, right here about 9-10 o'clock, it is right around the freezing mark, and it's going to hover at or below freezing during the duration of this event, which is mainly again tomorrow morning. So there's not much to see here. This is not a major storm. This is not a nor'easter, but it's kind of what I like to call a southern slider. It's kind of coming in from the south. It's going to pull in some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And what you'll see is this breakout later this afternoon and this evening as just some light snow and freezing rain. But as it moves a little bit closer to the east coast, it'll start to pick up even more moisture from the ocean, and that's when we start to see those precipitation rates really intensify. So your next weather alert is from late tonight into tomorrow morning. It will likely go until at least noon when the rain will begin to taper. This is for light snow to start. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation. Anything we see will likely be between about 9 p.m. and midnight, maybe an inch. Most get less than an inch, but then it transitions to sleet. So those snowflakes partially melt and refreeze into ice pellets, and that's when you get that kind of bouncing sleet, and that layers on top of the snow. Then it changes over to rain, liquid rain, but when the ground is below freezing, we call it freezing rain because it will freeze on contact. So now you're getting those layers, right? The layer of snow, then a layer of sleet, then a layer of ice, and then rain comes through, and if it warms up enough, the rain will wash a lot of that away. But areas to the north have the greatest threat for more extensive icing because I do think the precipitation is going to last longer in those areas with temperatures at or below freezing. So let's go ahead and pull up our map and we'll take a look at the timing on this, what this looks like as we kind of put up our temperature, our actual city indicators with no data on it. I want to show you the timing of this. If you look at the bottom of your screen, starting at 9 o'clock tonight. By midnight, here comes the rain and snow. The worst of it, this is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's just rain. And then by noon, it's out. Running it through again. Here's midnight tonight, light freezing rain or sleet. 3 a.m. you start to see that precipitation get heavier, and I think the worst of it is right here about 6 a.m. By noon tomorrow. Once again, this is pretty much out of here. So let's talk about the timing once more. Again, as we go through tonight and into tomorrow, we've got this rain, snow, and ice, and the areas where you see anything without a zero next to the decimal point, right? Anything greater than 1/10 of an inch. So possibly Philadelphia, Reading, Lancaster, Wilmington. You're looking at a couple of tenths of an inch of icing, and that could lead to the threat for very slick roads and also possible branches down and power outages in the areas that get the heaviest ice. Saturday, another system, and look how similar this looks. Starting off as light snow, then we've got the transition to sleet Saturday evening, followed by rain, but it does look like this will get out of here in time for your big game watching plans on Sunday. Sunday is quiet, but I gotta tell you, it's kind of sounding the alarm now. Next Tuesday is looking pretty likely that we'll have another winter storm to deal with. Kim, I'll send it over to you.
Kate.